Maria's walking stick snagged on something under her porch, rusted hinges of a long-lost mailbox, dented from that wild '99 snowstorm. 52 years in this Vancouver hood and still, surprises lurked. She dusted it off, grinning. Fam next door had feuded over parking spots for months, but Maria remembered how shared shoveling back then melted icy glares. Her Tuesday walk club wasn't just for cardio, it was a moving peace summit. Today's route passed both stubborn driveways. Courage wasn't grand gestures, just Maria's walking stick snagged on something under her boot, probably another rogue hockey puck left behind by neighborhood kids. She wobbled, caught herself with a clumsy step, then chuckled. 52 years old and still tripping over life's little surprises. That stick had seen more than pavement, its smooth maple grip carried memories of her late father's Sunday hikes, back when patience felt infinite and conflicts could be outwalked. Vancouver's damp air clung to her jacket as she eyed Mrs. Nguyen's overgrown hedge, unofficial battleground of their cul-de-sac. What started as trimmed branches had spiraled into silent scowls over garbage day politics. Woman hesitated, then rapped her stick against hedge, not hard, just enough to announce presence. A rustle. Mrs. Nguyen peered out, pruning shears in hand. No words, just two women staring a shrub like it held secrets of diplomacy. She exhaled. "Walk with me," she blurted. 3 blocks later, past community center's mural of salmon swimming upstream, they fell into rhythm. Mrs. Nguyen confessed she'd hated that hedge for years but feared offending previous owner. Maria admitted she'd been avoiding confrontation since her divorce, as if solitude could armor her against loneliness. Their laughter bounced off rain-slicked sidewalks, dissolving tension with each step. By week's end, their duo became a pack, Maple Striders, a motley crew of neighbors who'd rather walk out grudges than stew in them. Maria's stick, once a solitary crutch, now tapped out invitations, to retired teacher nursing a grudge over misplaced recycling bins, to young dad who blasted Polka Dawn. Her deepest fear, that connection was as fragile as morning frost, melted underfoot. Turns out, healing wasn't about grand gestures, but Maria's walking stick snagged on something under her porch again. This time, though, it wasn't just rogue ivy. A chipped coffee mug peeked out, half buried in damp soil. She crouched, knees protesting, and pried it free. Someone's midnight argument had clearly ended with flying dishware. Vancouver drizzle misted her cheeks as she turned mug over. "Not mine." Next door's blinds twitched. Creator sighed. Another silent standoff brewing over garbage bins or dog barks. But 52 years had taught her, grudges weighed more than wet laundry. She pocketed mug and grabbed her stick, sanded oak, gifted after knee surgery. Its grooves fit her palm like a promise, keep moving. That afternoon, instead of stewing, woman taped flyers to community center bulletin boards. Neighborhood walk club. Slow pace. No drama. Just fam. First meetup, only 3 showed. A retiree with a hip replacement, a teen glued to her earbuds, and Mr. Chen from down block, who'd been feuding with woman over compost smells. They shuffled along, avoiding eye contact until Maria's stick caught a pothole. She wobbled, arms pinwheeling, then landed but first in a hydrangea bush. Mr. Chen snorted. Then offered a hand. By week 3, their group had doubled. Maria led them past disputed hedges and shared alleyways, her stick tapping rhythms like a mediator's gavel. One morning, they found Mug's owner, a sleep-deprived new mom who'd hurled at her snoring husband. Laughter unspooled tension tighter than Vancouver fog. Walking sticks became batons, passed to whoever needed steadiness. Maria's knees still ached but her heart. Light as cherry blossoms on spring pavement. She yanked her walking stick free from beneath a rogue sprinkler head, muttering about Vancouver's passive-aggressive irrigation systems. 52 years of city living had taught her 2 truths: concrete cracked, and so did people. But unlike pavement, neighbors didn't stay fixed with a municipal patch job. Her neighborhood walk club had started as a joke, something to justify buying that ridiculous fanny pack, but now it was only thing stitching their block together. Last week, Mrs. Kwan and new Airbnb host had nearly come to blows over garbage bin etiquette. Yesterday, teens lobbed half-smoked joints into old Mr. Petrov's azaleas. Maria's solution. Lace up, grab her stick, carved from a fallen arbutus tree, symbolic, she'd tell anyone who'd listen, and herd fam towards seawall. Progress wasn't pretty. She'd tripped over her own determination more than once face-planting right outside community center where Tai Chi grandmas pretended not to snicker. But woman had a theory, shared rhythm bred shared respect. Left foot, right foot, grievances aired between gulps of salted air. By third Thursday walk, even surly skateboarders nodded as they passed. Stick, now nicked from prying open a stuck gate during a heated debate about hedge trimming, became a baton of truce. She smirked, imagining city council's shock if she billed them for conflict resolution via cardio. Doubt still crept in. What if they were just postponing inevitable? Then she'd spot Mrs. Kwan sharing sunscreen with Airbnb guy or Petrov waving off teens with a grudging keep walking punks. Small victories, but Maria knew cracks didn't heal overnight. Neither did people. But with enough forward motion, even stubbornest among them might find common ground, one stubborn step at a time. Maria's walking stick snagged on something under her boot, a rogue skateboard left curbside by some neighborhood kid. She wobbled, arms pinwheeling, but caught herself with a sly grin. 52 and still nimble. This was her moment. For weeks, she'd nudged her block's simmering tensions into something better, a walking club. Not just strolls but moving mediation. Mrs. Kowalski's yappy chihuahua versus Mr. Patel's prized roses? Solved mid-stride near Main Street's community center. Teens loitering near Oldman Henderson's fence. Now they joined, trading side-eyes for step counts. But today's challenge loomed larger. Two families, new arrivals from opposite ends of globe, had been locked in a trash bin turf war. Maria's solution. A potluck walk. Bring a dish, bring your feet, she'd scrawled on flyers slapped up beside bus stops. Skeptics scoffed. Especially Linda from Forby, arms perpetually crossed, muttering about hippie nonsense. Woman adjusted her neon windbreaker, her uniform of optimism, and tapped her stick against pavement. A rhythm. A call to motion. One by one, doors creaked open. Crock pots emerged. Empanadas met samosas on a folding table. Linda hovered edge, lips pursed. Then, disaster. A rogue meatball rolled underfoot. Maria's stick went airborne as she windmilled backward, straight into Linda's arms. Crowd gasped. For a heartbeat, silence. Then Linda snorted. Girl, you're a menace. But her hands steadied Maria. And, miracle of miracles, she grabbed a plate. By mile 2, laughter tangled with scent of cardamom and cilantro. Someone's phone captured Linda arm in arm with enemy neighbor, both grinning as she led them past cherry blossoms, stick held high like a conductor's baton. By dusk, clip had hit local Facebook groups. Viral. Creator leaned against her porch later, twirling that trusty stick. A notification buzzed, 87 new members for Stride and Solve. Even Skateboard Kid had signed up. Warmth bloomed in her chest. I finally belong here. Across street, Linda waved, then mimed tossing a meatball. Maria laughed. Progress, one wobbly step at a time. Maria's walking stick snagged on something under her porch, again. This time, it wasn't rogue ivy but a warped floorboard, loose from years of rain. She sighed, nudging it with her toe. Typical Vancouver. But that stubborn board sparked an idea. Neighbor disputes had simmered for months, barking dogs, misplaced trash bins, passive-aggressive notes about parking spots. Maria, 52, refused to let pettiness win. She grabbed her stick, carved with initials from her late dad, and knocked on doors. Walk with me, she'd say, flashing a grin. No debates, no drama. Just movement. By week 3, her solo strolls had morphed into a ragtag walk club. Retirees, young moms, even reticent teens joined, lured by her quirky habit of naming sidewalks after local birds. This stretch. That's seagull swagger. With each step, grievances softened. A shared laugh over dodging puddles replaced muttered complaints. Community centers buzzed with new collaborations, potlucks, mural projects, even a rogue tomato growing contest. Her walking stick became a symbol, not of frailty but connection. One evening, she guided a hesitant newcomer along waterfront, pointing out her favorite hidden benches. "Fam sticks together," she quipped, tapping stick lightly against a lamppost. Months later, that loose floorboard got fixed, by a neighbor who'd once glared over fence lines. Maria's walks had woven something unbreakable, a neighborhood that moved forward, literally and together. Grab your shoes, peace starts with a single step.